Verizon Communications is nearing a deal to buy Yahoo's core internet business, an agreement that would put an end to a tumultuous period for the beleaguered internet company. Joining us now to discuss is WSJ Markets Deputy Editor Dana Cimilluca. Welcome to you, Dana.
Thanks.
So Verizon has long been considered the most likely buyer for Yahoo's core internet business. Is there anything that's speeding up that process?
Well, no, quite the contrary. This thing has taken forever. But it looks like it's finally drawing to a close. I mean, you know, Yahoo's board probably would like to have wrapped this up long ago. As you pointed out, people long thought that Verizon was the strongest horse, and it looks like they're probably going to win the race.
Okay. Could this news give way for other Yahoo bidders to reemerge?
It's unlikely. It's always possible. You know, these kinds of auctions are always unpredictable. It's not done till it's done. But there are probably other guys waiting in the wings. But I think everyone's watching to see if Verizon can finally seal this thing in the next few days.
Okay, and everyone's watching the money on this, both Marissa Mayer's package that she'll probably get eventually, and also just the terms of the deal. Do you have any estimates on the financial aspects of the possible deal?
It's unclear because it's super complicated. I mean, Verizon is an amalgamation of a lot of different things, including its declining core internet business and a couple of very valuable stakes in Asian companies like Alibaba and Yahoo Japan. Those two, the latter two, will not go with the deal, but Verizon also owns patents and real estate. We're not sure whether they'll go with the deal, so price is tricky. It'll measure in the billions. We're not quite sure how many. On the Marissa issue, like you pointed out, she'll walk away with a decent package. We don't know how much exactly, but it'll be measured in the tens of millions in all likelihood. She's probably going to ride off into the sunset, though, because Verizon has this guy, Tim Armstrong, who's very well regarded, runs AOL, which Verizon would probably combine Yahoo with. He'll probably run that combined company, and I imagine, you know, Marissa will leave.
And how could this boost Verizon's business?
Well, you know, Verizon is in an interesting position. Their landline business obviously has been in decline for years. Now their juggernaut of a wireless business has even plateaued. So they need to look to new areas of growth. Buying AOL was obviously a big part of that. Stapling Yahoo onto it makes sense, but clearly they're trying to head in a new direction to find some growth in the whole digital advertising realm. Maybe
they'll push Armstrong up in the leadership there?
Well, you know, that's a great question. I don't follow Verizon, so I don't know super well, but my sense is that he's definitely one to watch there, and who knows, especially if he manages to make something out of this acquisition and out of AOL. I gotta believe he's got a shot someday of running Verizon.
Okay, you mentioned this earlier a little bit, but just explain a little bit more about why it's so difficult to value Yahoo, and if there are any figures that have been thrown around, let us know what they were.
Okay, look, we have reported in the past that an earlier bid from Verizon was about $3 billion, okay? But we also were told then that it wouldn't include patents or real estate. It looks like now maybe Verizon's bid ultimately includes at least real estate. And you can imagine that from one round to the next, maybe they bump their bid. Some others are reporting something in the neighborhood of $5 billion total. But again, it's tricky. We don't have our own sense of it at this moment, but also you got to know what exactly they're buying to get a sense of what they're paying. And then the other thing you got to keep in mind is that this is a tricky asset to value. It's like a melting ice cube, Yahoo's business. I think that's partly why this has taken so long, because people are having a hard time wrapping their arms around the business, what's there now, what's going to be there in the future. So it's a very difficult asset to value.
Okay, they took a big loss on Monday, but shares now are looking up on the news of this. Could this really be the end of Yahoo's woes?
Well, it's in some ways it's the end of Yahoo. So yes, their trials and tribulations will come to an end. But of course, their stakes in those two very valuable Asian companies that I mentioned, you know, we'll have to see what comes of those.
Okay. Yeah, well, this is going to be playing out probably within the next, what do you think?
We think within the next week, if not potentially Monday. People like to announce deals on Monday, so maybe we see a resolution on Monday.
Okay, I know you'll be all over it.
Indeed.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.